Welcome to QA Automation Hub. So in this video, we'll see what is an enhanced for loop. So this is another array traversing technique like for loop, while loop, and do while loop, and this has been introduced in Java 5. And here it is similar to a for loop that it allows you to traverse between an array or collection list. Okay. And here, what is the syntax? It is very simple and more readable when compared to a for loop. It starts with for like a normal loop, and instead of declaring and initializing a loop counter variable, you just declare a variable that is of the same type of the as the base type of the array. Say for example, the array or collections, right? If it is a integer or a string, anything, then you have to give this type here. If it is integer, then give it as integer. If it is string, then give it as string and declare a variable. Okay. So give the type and you have to give a variable name that you want to store the list. Okay, list elements. And here you will be giving the collections. And just open and close the bracket, and inside this you will be writing your block of code. Okay, so this is how you will do it in a for loop for sorry enhanced for loop. Okay, when compared to the for loop, so this is very simple, right? It doesn't have even you can rectify the errors easily, so because you don't declare any kind of increment or decrement operators and conditions, many things you are not giving here, just giving the type as per the array or collections, and you are giving the list that you want to traverse across, and those index one by one, it will get stored to this variable and you can access that in your code. Okay, so this is an enhanced for loop, and now let's see with an example. Okay, let me create a method here. Public void enhanced for loop. So I have created a method, and we'll create an simple integer array. Okay, so let me create an array called numbers, and we will have the numbers from 1 to 10 inside this array. Okay, all right. So I have declared I have initialized an array, integer array called numbers, and we have stored the numbers from 1 to 10 inside that array. Okay, so we will see how we use this for loop now, enhanced for loop. So let me put a print statement here. So we will call it as for in loop. Okay, all right. And now we have to put for, and the type is integer, right? So int, and we will give something like num as variable, and colon, and you have to give the array here. All right, and open and close the bracket. So first let us try to print this value. Okay, so the value of the array element is, and what you need to give, you have to give this variable. Okay, so what you have declared in the for each loop, enhance for loop. And now if I try to run this program from the main method, so let me run it, and you can see it will start displaying from 1 to 10 here. Okay, you can see here 1 to 10 it has displayed properly. Okay, so this is very simple, right, when compared to that for loop. So if you want to traverse from the beginning to the end, okay, without any interventions, then I prefer you can use the for each sorry enhance for loop. Okay, you can use this loop instead of going for a normal for loop. So let us try to do with this with the normal for loop now. Okay, and this is a normal for loop, and how you do it, you have to give for, you have to initialize a variable. Okay, and you have to give the condition, right? I is mm, is then 10. Okay, so numbers, right? Numbers dot length. Okay, so you have to get the length of that array and I plus plus. All right, and we have to print this now. So how you will print it? Value of the array element, you have to use this numbers. Okay, numbers of I. So index wise you are going to print the values. So this is how you will use the normal for loop for this, for printing this numbers from 1 to 10, right? See here, it prints properly. So now we will see what is an issue if it comes like you want to print from the number 2. Okay. Say for example, I can initialize here, right? So it starts from here now, from here. Okay. And now if I try to print this one, see here, it is restricting, right? It starts from 3. So this kind of changes, you can do it in a normal for loop, but here it will traverse from the beginning to the end. Okay, you will not be able to skip a few things here, and you cannot reverse it also. Okay, and if you want to print the numbers from last to first, okay, so that also it's not possible here. We have a restriction, it is difficult. So in that case also you have to use the normal for loop instead of the enhanced for loop. Okay, say for example I can print it here, right? I can put numbers minus 1, and here I can put it like till 0, print it, and we have to put the decrement operator. So this kind of reverse calculations, reverse traversing can be done using the normal for loop, but using the enhanced for loop it takes from the beginning to the last. Okay, so that is one restrictions, limitations we have. And if you want to skip some numbers also, it is not possible. Okay, here we can do anything, but you can see here the value of the array element from 10 to 1 it printed here, but that cannot be done in the enhanced for loop. So it is somewhat difficult when compared to here. But if you want to traverse from the beginning to end, then it is definitely useful for using the enhanced for loop, because here you need to give multiple calculations. Okay, so you have to declare and initialize your loop counter variable, and then you have to put the increment, decrement, and conditions, everything. Here just you need to declare a variable, and you can make the loop to traverse through this list or array. Okay, so that's the main difference between the enhanced for loop and normal for loop. All right. Okay, let us try this with an collections example. Okay, so this is a normal array, right? We tried with an integer array, and now let us try with an array list. So I will create a simple array list here with the string as data type. Okay, and we will have some company names. Okay, company list something. Okay, so this is how we create an array list. So this we will be seeing in detail in our future tutorials. So for now, I will add some 5 values inside this array list. Okay, say for example I'm adding it as Google, Facebook. Okay, and I'm giving it as Oracle, Walmart, and Reliance. Okay, so I have given this values inside this array list, and let we need to import it from Java. So now this is a collection. Okay, so we have a group of company list inside this object. Okay, so this is a simple array list I have created. So now let us try to do the same thing using the enhanced for loop and a normal for loop. Okay, so here what we need to do, for example we will create something like company name. Okay, and this is a string type, right? So let's create a string here. Okay, I'm just changing it here so that you will come to know about the difference how we create an for each for string. Okay, so yeah, now the company list we have to give it here. So now it when it loops, right, first it will come, the 0th index will be Google, right? It will get set to this company name, and it is going to print this statement. Okay, and first it will print Google, and then it will come again here. It will check for the index. Yes, it is available, first index is available, right? So company name will be set as Facebook, and here it will print the Facebook in the print statement, and it will check for the next index. Yes, Oracle is available, so it will come here, and it will set it in the company name, and next it will go to the next index. Similarly to till the last index. After printing the Reliance, there is no index, right? So it will come out of the loop. So it will do the operations automatically here. Okay, but here you have to give the conditions properly, otherwise there will be a exception also. So that is also one point. Okay, because exceptions might occur in this for loop, but here it is not possible because it does the operations by itself. You got it? And if you want to do the same thing here, what you need to do, you have to put company list dot size. Okay, so this will give you the size of that array list, and here you need to put company list dot get of I, pass the index inside. All right. So now if you run this program, both will be displaying this. Okay, Google, Facebook, Oracle, Walmart, and Reliance. And in for loop, okay, some issue has happened. Okay, see here, now itself we got an error. So this is what problem. Okay, where you have to declare the conditions properly and increment, decrement, initialization, everything needs to be done in for loop properly. But here it is very good readability you have, and the error prone is also much better here. Okay, you will not be fallen into any error conditions since it is doing the operation by its own. Okay, so this is called as an enhanced for loop, and we have another thing called for each lambda for each. Okay, so in that let me tell you the differences. So first we'll put for each. I'll just mark it as for each lambda or something. So just you need to give the lambda expressions inside this, and that you can access using this object itself. So okay, and here you can see you will have a for each method itself, and inside this you just need to put the actions that you need to perform. Okay, so you can just pass the value here, and this is lambda, you are giving it as p, so just pass it as p and remove the semicolon. Okay, so this is a simple statement. See here, within one line you are giving, so this is called as an internal iterator. Okay, and these two are called as an external iterator. So why it is called as an external iterator? Because you are creating the for loop, and you are giving the conditions, and you are creating it creating the variables and other things, and you are specifically managing these loops. Okay, that is the main point. You are managing these loops, either it can be an enhanced for loop or it can be an normal for loop. You are managing it and you are controlling this loop. Okay, but here it does the control, it you are controlling during the runtime. Okay, but here since it is in the collection interface itself, I'm just adding it with this array list itself, right? Using this object itself, I'm able to access this for each method, and I am putting the lambda expression inside that one. Okay, so if I run this one, here you can see it prints for this one also. See, it does not think anything, right? So this is when compared to the performance, right? This is much better because this is an internal iterator, it does on its own. Okay, when compared to the external iterator methods, those are nothing but the enhanced for loop and the normal for loop. Okay, so it's better if you just want to iterate over the list from the beginning to the end, and if you want to give some logics, it's not like print statement alone, you can give your own logic inside this. Okay, so just you need to open and close the bracket, and here you can write some if conditions also, that is also possible. So in that case you can go for an for each lambda expressions. Okay, so this is introduced in Java 8, and it is very very useful, and the performance is much better because it is inside the collection interface itself. Okay, so you got the difference between these things. So these are main things that you need to cover, and okay, as I mentioned, we'll just quickly go through the some advantages and disadvantages of this enhanced for loop. So the advantages are the readability is very good when compared to a normal for loop. So here you can see we just declare a variable with the same data type. So if it is a string, just we are declaring it a string. If it is an integer, we declare a variable with integer data type, and we are giving the collections or arrays list here, and it is going to go through one by one from the beginning to end, and this index are getting added to this variables, and we can use that inside our code. Okay, so this is very simple when compared to a normal for loop. Here you have to initialize a variable, and you have to assign a value from where the loop should start, and you have to give the conditions and decrement and increment the counter variables, right? So this is somewhat difficult, and the readability is really good in an enhanced for loop. So that is one important point. and it decreases the error in your program. Since here nothing you need to specify it accurately, just we give the variable and the list. Okay, so this is the simple thing, right? So it will decrease the error in your program, but here you need to specify the even if you change the condition to a greater symbol, right? Then it will throw an error. Okay, any exceptions can be thrown here. So the error might arise if we are giving a wrong initialization or conditions here in the normal for loop. Okay, so that is one more thing, and when it comes to disadvantages, it just travels from the beginning to the end, right? So here it is not going through the index wise, so it is really hard to manage, if you try to traverse through a reverse order, that is difficult in an enhanced for loop, and if you want to skip or put some conditions based on your requirement, like print some even numbers or print some odd numbers, or start with some skipping some values, so those things can be only done using the normal for loop and not using an enhanced for loop. It is very difficult, so that is one disadvantage that we can see here. And when it comes to an for each lambda, so this is an internal iterator and these two are an external iterator. So in runtime you are specifying what the loop should have to do. Okay, so that you are doing it in an externally, and you are managing these loops, right? So this is in performance wise it's very low when compared to the for each lambda expressions. Okay, so here it comes from the collection interface, right? In this object itself we have this for each method, and we are just passing the lambda expressions inside this one, and this will iterate it from 0 to the last index, and it is giving the value, and you can use that value in your logics inside this for loop. Say for example you don't want to give this print statement, right? You can put some logics inside this expressions also, so that you can do it, and it will segregate. Okay, it will send this three indexes to the first core, and it will send this two index to the second core though, so the compiler will decide that one. So in performance wise, this one is really high when compared to this enhanced for loops, and these are done through an external iterator, and this is done through an internal iterator. So this is what you have to know about some enhanced for loop, and there are some more methods that you can use it, because this is with a simple array list, right? You have some more map related concepts also, and there are some inbuilt functions and apis that are available in for each, so that we will see it later. And this is for the basics, and thanks for watching my video.